Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to Warframe. Today we're going to be talking about the latest update, and I'm just going to give you guys a bit of an update on where we are with content in the future and things like that. And I really didn't want to make this video just because I've been trying to avoid talking about this update, and I feel like a lot of other content creators on YouTube have they've gone on about it for quite a bit now, and there's a few things that are a bit concerning about the update, and obviously everyone's a bit upset about a few things, but I think newer players are quite happy with this update. There is obviously a bit of an easier transition, I'd say, through to Railjack now, which I think is kind of what the devs intended, but I'm not sure that they've really hit the nail on the head with this one. So I just really wanted to cover a few things. So the first one is going to be the missions that they've now introduced for Railjack and how those work. So essentially what we've got is basically what we had before, at least in my mind it feels like what we had before, except for they've kind of just plonked a standard mission on the end of it, one that we already had, like an exterminate or a defense or whatever. That's what it feels like to me. There are still skirmish missions, obviously, where it's sort of similar to the previous Railjack missions, except now we can't just fly around using tether, but we do have other abilities that we can use, which are proving to be just as effective, if not even more effective. I'm sure we'll see nerfs for those in the future. And we've also got the two new game modes, which they put in. One I think is called Volatile, the other's Orphics. And I think the main kind of angst, I guess, that's being directed towards the devs at the moment is the fact that the drop rates on Orphics are ridiculously low. And I have to say, even though I am an Eidolon hunter, and it wouldn't have been, a great thing for me if those drop rates were very high. I still think that the drop rate that they put on Orphics was unbelievably low. And it's to the point where it's just not even a viable way to even consider farming arcanes, in my opinion. I think it's sort of like 1.41% or something like that for a legendary arcane rotation C, and just to get there you're going to need to have rank 7 intrinsics and everything like this, and that's if you can get to the 30. If you get to the 36 Orphics in one run, to be the most efficient way of doing it, I guess. Yeah, it's not great, guys. I'll be honest, but it is what it is. What I would say on that, if you guys are looking for a way to farm arcanes, perhaps if you're a newer player who's just joined the game, I would strongly recommend looking into getting yourself your operator geared up, getting some frames to hunt Eidolons. If you really don't like hunting Eidolons, then obviously you can do this Orphics event. You just need to be aware that it's going to take you a fair amount of time longer, and it's probably going to feel a lot more repetitive and laborious than it would be to do Eidolon hunting. So do bear that in mind when you're sort of moving towards this. The other thing that I wanted to mention as well is the new intrinsic skill tree that they released, the command tree. As far as I'm concerned, this doesn't really play a solid part in the game. It still feels completely disconnected and not really what I thought they were going for with the new update on Railjack. It's completely dedicated to your crew, which I guess is fair enough. But there's only one ability on there that's really going to affect our gameplay elsewhere, which is the summon crewmate. And currently, I haven't found a singular reason to use that anywhere else in the game. If I was going to do something like that, I'd call in a Spectre. I wouldn't call in one of my Railjack crewmates. If one of you guys has found an interesting way to utilize that function, then do let me know down in the comments. I'd be interested to see if anyone has actually come up with something that is, is actually useful using that ability. But again, I think that's something, again, that the devs sort of overlooking. They're trying to bolster the Railjack a bit too much. I'm not also convinced of the modular system. But again, it does definitely feel, and I'm saying this from the perspective of a long-term player. If you were a newer player coming to the game and you wanted to get into Railjack, it does feel like there would now be an easier transition. There's less to get your head around, so that's definitely something. And I commend the devs for that, at least. But yeah, I mean, for me personally, I haven't touched Railjack now. I mean, I played the update for a week after it came out. It's been about a month now since the update released. And I played Railjack for a week. I got the Athodai, I got the Carmine Penta, and then I stopped playing the game mode because there's no need for me to play it anymore. What the devs probably should have done, and I've heard a lot of content creators say that, sorry about that message. I've heard a lot of content creators say this, is that they needed to implement something new that would have been useful elsewhere in the game. Rather than just recycling rewards that we already have, such as arcanes and things like that, why not introduce some new arcanes? Obviously, we have some that we got in Deimos and things like that, but ones that we would actually, you know, consider using. I hate to say it like that, but a lot of the arcanes that the devs released recently have been, you know, gimmicky kind of arcanes that, although maybe can be used, they're not as good as some of the other arcanes that we already have, which they've now recycled into the reward pool for Railjack. So yeah, if I was going to do something like that, I'd definitely implement a reward that was unique to Railjack that would want to make me play it, so that I could keep coming back and playing it. But they haven't done that. So again, I played Railjack for a week. I got the 2 weapons. I stopped playing Railjack. That's my retention level for Railjack. So it's a bit of a strange update to me. I don't know. I don't really know how the devs intended it, but I'm not sure they really nailed it. But that's all I'm going to say about the update, guys. If you have any of your own thoughts that you want to provide, do feel free to leave them in the comments. I wonder how you guys have seen it, whether you've guys seen it as a positive update or a negative update. If you're a newer player, I'd actually really like to hear your opinion on this, and whether or not you feel like you can now get into Railjack easier, or whether it's still kind of a bit of a ropey subject, and whether or not you're still just avoiding it, or whether you really love it. I don't know. Let me know down in the comments, and I'll have a look at those. But yeah, in terms of future content, guys, I have been doing some farming every now and then for the Vectis Ribbon, but as I said, I've got a lot of work coming up and I've got a lot of exams on, so video releases are going to be a bit sparse. Hopefully I'm going to try and get at least one out a week. But yeah, so we'll be doing the Vectis Ribbon still every now and then, and we'll also be doing soon the farming videos. So one of the things that obviously you need for Eidolon hunting is going to be your ciphers and your energy pads. So I'm going to have a look at how to do those, and how to get the resources for them very efficiently, both solo and in a squad. Also, what I wanted to look at as well, guys, is how you farm up focus. So I'm thinking about this from a person who is just coming in to the Eidolon hunting scene, and how they would farm up focus, and how they sort of get to the highest level, and kind of MR and you know, with your standing with the quills and things like that. But that might be a future episode. It's not something that obviously I prioritize, because I feel like a lot of players know this, and they know what they need to do to get there and how to farm focus. There's a lot of videos out there for farming focus. If you guys don't know how to like efficiently farm focus, there are plenty of videos on YouTube that show how to do that. So I've been trying to sort of avoid doing that, but I may well do something on it just to show you guys sort of how to do that. That might be part of the resource series, I don't know. But yeah, that's probably going to be it for this video, guys. Do keep an eye out for content in the future. It will be coming, so yeah. Let me know if you guys want to see anything as well, obviously. If you have any particular interest that you'd like me to demonstrate, or perhaps even try out on video, then do let me know. But other than that, guys, that will do for this episode. If you liked it, please subscribe, and I will see you in the next episode. Thanks for watching.